how much money do you actually get to keep when you sell your house in Texas? In other words, how much money do you actually net when it's all said and done? Now, this is probably the number one question that I get at every single listing appointment. It doesn't matter if I'm working with a homeowner that sold 2 homes, 5 homes, 20 homes in the past, or if it's a first-time home seller. It's truly that important that every single homeowner know how much they're actually going to net when they sell their home, because you as a home seller are about to incur some abnormal expenses that you typically don't have. So you certainly need to know how much money you net and how much money you're actually taking away from the closing table, because you might need that money to cover the down payment on your next house. And you might also need that money for the moving expenses that you're about to incur, or the furniture you might need to buy for the new place, or to cover the repairs that you have to do on the new place that you're about to purchase. All this to say, you need to get this calculation right. Now, before I share with you the exact calculator that we use with all of our clients, I want to welcome you to the DFW Homeowner YouTube channel. My name is Jaime Resendez. I'm a realtor and team leader able to help you make money in real estate, whether you're buying or selling. All right, so to understand how much money we net when we sell our house, first we need to understand what we can sell our house for. So if you already have a good idea of how much you can sell for, fantastic. But if you need some help, then feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is down below. All right, so the house that we're going to sell today is valued at $500,000. That is what we can expect to sell this house for. Now, if you've already paid off the entire house, fantastic. However, the majority of you probably have a loan on the property itself. So we need to satisfy the loan, whatever that ends up being. So we need to pay off that loan at the end of the day. So with that being said, let's just pretend we have about $100,000 left on that loan. And since this video is talking about Texas real estate or selling a home in Texas, then we need to talk about property taxes, because your property taxes are on the higher end compared to the other states in the country. So I'm going to use a realistic property tax rate here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, where I do a lot of my real estate. Now, we do service Austin, Lubbock, El Paso, Houston, and everywhere else. However, the bulk of our business is out of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So what we're going to do is we're going to assume that our property taxes for this house are going to run around $12,000 per year. So what that means is that our property taxes are going to run around $1,000 per month. Now, if we're selling this house in the summer, let's call it July 1st, that means that we will have owned the house for 6 months. So that means that we're responsible for 6 months worth of taxes, which that means that we're responsible for $6,000 worth of property taxes for the year that we sold the house on. So at the closing table, the title company will withhold not only this amount to satisfy the loan. In fact, the loan will be paid off right then and there, the one that you have on the property, but the title company will also withhold this amount in property taxes. They're going to put that in escrow to pay the property taxes on your behalf when they're due. Now, if you're selling your house yourself without a real estate agent, then you can leave these two blank. There's nothing here for you to fill out. Now, if you are going to work with the real estate agent, I'm going to go ahead and make some assumptions here. This is just a demo. This is just an example of what a realistic scenario would look like. That would essentially look like $15,000 for the listing agent and $15,000 for the buyer's agent. Now, here's the thing. In this demonstration, I'm using a 6% listing. Commissions are always negotiable. I'm using 6% just to have something here, giving you a realistic number. There's no set fee. There's no set commission in real estate. And in addition to that 6% assumption, I am going to assume that the agent that you hire as a listing agent will give 3% to a buyer's agent that brings a buyer. So it's a 3% for the listing agent and 3% for the buyer's agent. That's what happens in a lot of cases. Now, again, commission is negotiable, so this can look different in your scenario. And since you're selling your house in Texas, this means that you're most likely going to be selling at a title company. And the fees are going to all vary, but I'm going to give you a realistic number so you know what to expect when you're closing, because these fees can add up. So from the attorney prep perspective, that's what what you can expect. From a settlement fee perspective, that's a realistic number as well. And from a county recording fee, this is a realistic number as well. Now, one quick note when it comes to the title company, there will be fees all across the board. Some are going to charge more, some are going to charge less, some are going to call these particular fees a different name, some are going to add some different fees all across the spectrum. So just be aware of that. Just know that there will be some fees that are associated with the title. Now, the largest fee that you're going to have when it comes to the title company is going to actually be your title policy. And the title policy for a property of this value is going to roughly run around this amount right here. Now, if your home happens to have an HOA, which is a homeowners association, then there will be a transfer fee associated to that. So you're gonna be picking up that fee unless your buyer offers to pay that for you, which, by the way, most of the things on here are negotiable. So your buyer can offer to pick up some of these costs. So just so you know. Now, something that's not necessarily covered in many of the seller net sheets that you're going to see are the repairs. And the reason that I include repairs in my net sheet is because if you were not selling your property, chances are you would not be making the repairs that you're making. Or said a different way, if you weren't selling, then you wouldn't be preparing your home with these repairs to put out onto the market. So you wouldn't be incurring these costs anyway. So what we're gonna say is it took you about $2,000 to get your home ready to go. And another cost that I like to add to the seller net sheet is the moving cost. And this can vary across the board, but for our purposes today, we're going to put $1,500. Of course, it's going to depend where you move to. It's going to depend if you're using a professional company or if you're using a U-Haul or if you're getting your cousin's truck. It's all variable here. So in this particular scenario, if we were to sell this house for $500,000 and everything on here is pretty much spot on, we would be receiving $355,725 at the closing table. Now, of course, this is just an example. If you want this spreadsheet, then go ahead and comment down below spreadsheet and I'll make sure that you get this.